Hello, third graders. This is Mrs. Johnston. I am excited to share a special book with you called Stepping Stones. And it is a beautiful book. And the story behind this story happens to be written in the foreword by the author, Marguerite Roers. When she saw a picture on Facebook of this man's artwork that is completely made out of stones. The artwork is done by Nizar Ali Badr, and when she was looking on Facebook and saw his work, she was so moved by it. As a children's author, she felt like she wanted to make a children's book about this. And she knew about some of the refugees and the struggles that they have to go through as they leave their home country. And so as she tried to figure out how to contact this man who's half the way around the world in a different country, who speaks a different language, she went to a lot of work and effort. At first she tried to communicate through Facebook to him, but his Facebook page had reached its friend limit, and so he wasn't receiving her messages. Finally, she found a friend who did live near that country and was able to try and reach out and contact him. And she said, my friend Marguerite would like to talk to you. And he said in response, well, have her email someone else who would be able to translate for the two of them. He speaks Arabic and she speaks English, and so for them to be able to communicate with each other, they needed someone to translate. As they were able to talk about this idea of making a book, he agreed to it, and she began writing, and he did the pictures. Then she found a publisher, which is the Orca Publishing, as you can see on the back right here, who agreed to publish this book, but not only publish it, but give the proceeds, and that means the earnings for the book, to the refugees who still need help in finding new homes and having the things that they need as they have to change to a different country. Another very special thing about this book is you'll be able to see that not only is this in English, but it's in Arabic, which is one of the languages that's spoken in Syria. This opening page, as you can see, those beautiful stones. The quote under this one says, "Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding." And this is the picture that started all of the idea of having the story. She saw that and was so moved by his artwork of this mother carrying a child and the father walking behind, and that's when she knew she wanted to make a story of this. Here's a picture of the artist who is using his talents to arrange the stones in such a way as to make a picture. And then he takes the photographs of it. "Rama, wake up!" the rooster crowed, every morning when we still lived at home. From my warm bed, I listened as Mama prepared breakfast: bread, yogurt, juicy red tomatoes from our garden. When I was little, not so long ago, my brother Sammy, our friends, and I played on sun-baked soil. We laughed, ran across rocks and sand, free as birds. When Papa came in from the fields, he would sit for a time under the orange tree and tell us stories of our ancestors. In that not-so-distant memory, we were free. Free to play, free to go to school, free to buy fruit and vegetables at the market, free to laugh and chat, drink tea with our neighbors, always 3 cups. But that was then, and this is now. Back then, Jedro, my grandfather, fished. Papa worked in the fields. Mama sewed silk scarves for me and my dolls. Wrapped in silken hugs, I didn't know our lives would soon change forever. But Jedro said we weren't really free. If we're not allowed to sing our songs, to dance our dances, to pray the prayers of our choice, are we truly free? Then war came to our country. Soon there was not enough food. Rama shared this bowl of soup with Sammy. I didn't know then that Mama would go hungry. But we still had Mama's hugs and Jedro's arms to hold us. Then the birds stopped singing. People began to leave our village. First a trickle, then a stream. Across dusty fields, under a burning sky. A burning sun. A stream driven by hope. Mothers, fathers, children, seeking a better place. A better life. A river of strangers in search of a place to be free. To live and laugh, to love again, in search of a place where bombs did not fall, where people did not die on their way to market, a river of people in search of peace. At first, when our neighbors left, I didn't mind. I had Papa and Mama and Jedro and Sami. I still had friends. We waved goodbye, not knowing they wouldn't come back. But when bombs fell too close to our home, Mama and Papa became frightened for all of us. I hid my face in Mama's lap and cried, even though I am a big girl. One day Jedro told Sammy and me that it was time. Time to join the river of people. Time to leave all that we knew. That night I lay in bed and cried because I knew I would never again hear the crow of the rooster, the creak of the gate, the bleat of our goat. I lay awake and listened to the wind, wondering if the moon rises the same way in other places. Sammy and I said goodbye to the flowers in our yard, to our goat, to the soil we called home. Then we walked. We walked and walked and walked. I tried to match my steps to Jedro's long strides. I tried to hold Mama's hands, but she carried blankets, a bundle of clothes. I carried only memories in my heart. We walked, sometimes alone, but mostly with others. Everyone fleeing the war, running away from the bombs. Papa carried little Sammy, and more on his back. When I grew so tired and cried, Papa told me we were walking toward a bright new future. We walked to the end of the earth. And when we reached it, there was the sea. We set sail on waves of hope and prayer. I was frightened as the waves battered our little boat, and not everyone made it safely across. We said prayers for those whose journey ended at sea. When we arrived on land once again, Mama and Papa planted seeds to grow flowers, to remember those who did not reach freedom. And on we walked, tired. I was so tired. My feet felt like the rocks on which we walked. My legs were trees rooted to the soil. On we walked, but now we walked across lands free from war, free from grass, from guns and bombs, free from fear. Now we walked in hope. At last we came to our future. New neighbors welcomed us with open arms. I heard their voices, but didn't understand their words. But when I saw their smiles, I knew what the words meant. Stay, they said. Stay here with us. You will be safe now. No more war. They shared what they had: clothes, food, even a new doll. We have a new home now, a home with new sounds and smells, with smiles and people who help. Will this always be home? Or will we go back one day? The lucky ones, they call us. New memories, new hopes, new dreams. Not of war, but of peace. And this is the picture of the author, Marguerite, and the picture of the artist, Nizar. I hope that you can feel of the kindness that can be extended to those who might be needing the extra love and welcoming of new neighbors as they are making their way into a new life in a new country. Kindness, it's worth it.